What's up, YouTube? This is Brian here from Team Widge. Today I'm here to talk to you about combo versus control. Now, first off, I'm going to talk about combo-based decks. The biggest combo-based deck in the game right now is Mermail. Mermails can easily have the ability to explode in one single turn and clear through 3 to 4 back row. They don't typically have a very large linear play. The general idea of the deck, though, is to maintain hand advantage until you're ready to go off, and when you go off, you typically win. The ability, they can easily power through 3 to 4 back row in one single turn and still be able to OTK. I've done it numerous times with my deck. They play very small amount of back row, between usually 5 and 7. 4 of them are usually field wipes, and 3 of them special summon from your deck. They take multiple cards in hand to go off 9 times out of 10. I'm not just talking Mermail, I'm talking just most decks in general. Like Agents, for example, they require a Birdman and a Venus to set up a massive field. Inzectors, they require a Hornet, a Dragonfly, or a Centipede, a Zecalibre, Gigamanus. Good milling off of Trooper. The only bad thing about combo decks, really, is that one single card sideboarded in against you can completely shut down your entire deck. Like Mermails, for example, Macrocosmos, Deep Fissure, Soul Drain, Abyss Dweller. Those are all cards that just really hurt the deck. But on the other hand, the deck can also side in cards like Goes and Match, Rivalry of Warlords, Skill Drain, Deck Devastation Virus, Messenger of Peace, and have a very controlling game too. Now, control decks, they're a very linear deck. They have one general strategy behind them. They want to make every single play into a control game. They want to grind you out of all of your resources, and they usually do it very quickly. Your opponent typically has to neg-1 themselves in order to get over a play, such as Yugioh or Dolka. If your opponent's got a Yugioh in 3 back row, it's going to take a spot removal card of some sort, or a massive field clearing card like Dark Hole or Heavy Storm to bait out the Yugioh first turn. And then even after that, they still have 4 other back row, and so you're going to have to continue just negging yourself into power through all of it. And Mermails have a lot of trouble doing that against Dino Rabbit in particular because of Dolka. And Dolka is too easy to summon the deck. You just summon Rabbit, go get 2 Vanillas, overlay Dolka, and you shut down your opponent for a turn. They typically play multiple back row. The ones I've been seeing play 8 to 13 trap cards, and that's a lot for a deck to handle, especially 3 of them being Macrocosmos. Your opponent typically has to sideboard multiple cards to stop the deck. They can't just sideboard something as simple as Macrocosmos or Soul Drain. Typically, good cards to side in are Soul Takers, Smashing Grounds, extra back row removal, things of that nature. And to really decide what kind of deck you want to play, you have to decide if you like control or combo. I mean, that's the basic general 2 decks of Yu-Gi-Oh! You have Herp Derp and you have Control, and that's just all there is to it. I personally prefer Herp Derp over Control. I tried Dino Rabbit for a while. It just really didn't suit me. So I even whenever it was the best deck in the format, I ended up switching from it to Inzectors and then to Wind-Ups. And I ended up finishing out the format with Wind-Ups. I didn't care for the hand loop so much in it, so I decided to cut out Hunter. And then the ban list rolled around and made Hunter bad, so I was pretty happy about it, but then it got the first turn Shockmaster play. I didn't really care for that too much either, so I put the deck back down. Maybe after the next ban list, after it gets hit again, I'll try to pick it back up. But right now I'm going with Mermails. And me, personally, control decks they don't work for me. I'm a pretty good stun player if I like playing Chaos Stun occasionally. But it's really about it for me as far as the 2 deck types go. My favorite deck of all time is Plants. And I'm talking about before Billy Break topped any YCSs with it. I like Junk Doppel. That's my absolute favorite build for Plants. If we still had Gloat Bulb, that's the deck I'd be playing today, is Junk Doppel. I know it's a bad deck and it can easily be beaten, but it's just what I like. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! To win necessarily. I play to have fun. And that's really what everybody should be doing with the game right now, is just playing to have fun. All of the decks are fairly cheap. I know Atlanteans is expensive, but here in a couple months it'll be really cheap as well. Let's see, what else do I want to talk to you guys about? You can't just go in and take Conjectures, for example. They just won the last YCS, and a lot of people want to pick the deck up because they think it's really, really good. And yeah, for that guy, it was really, really good because he won the YCS with it. It's his day to win. No one was going to stop him. But just because it worked for him doesn't mean it worked for you. If you're a control player and you try to pick up a deck like Mermails, you're not going to be very successful with it. But on the other hand, if you're a Mermail player where you like herp derp decks and stuff like that, you're going to get very, very, very bored of decks like Dino Rabbit. And that's exactly the reason I quit playing it. It got so boring. You summoned a rabbit, set 2 back row, 3 back row, ended your turn. And then you just waited for your opponent to try to power through it. 9 times out of 10 they didn't, and you ended up winning off of it. But it's just a very, very boring deck to me. And I feel like just because you win a YCS and your deck gets posted out there doesn't mean that everybody should just pick it up and try to start playing it. Mermails haven't won a YCS yet they have a retarded amount of field play right now. They're a really big deck in the format, but a lot of people that are playing it don't know how to play it right now. There's people at my locals right now, there's 2 other Mermail players, and they have had 0 success with it. I'm the only person there that's top 4 at the locals. The locals are between 40 to 60 people, so it's a pretty good sized locals. We usually, if we hit 45 people, we have a box tournament, and I'm the only one with Mermails that's topped in it so far. And that's just because I like control deck, or I like combo decks over control. And the decks that they've been playing are very, very control decks, and they're trying to switch up to a deck that they're unused to, they're unfamiliar with, and they don't really generally know what they're doing with it, because there's too many plays on board for them to recognize. I'm going to leave off with this. This will be all for the video. Just play what you like. Don't necessarily play what you're seeing at YCSs. And just enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! That's all for Team Widge, and I'm out.